I got 5 wide receivers for you that are looking at alpha potential going into this next season that you do not want to miss out. First up, let's start with the rookie over there in Arizona, Marvin Harrison Jr. We know there's going to be an elite target share over there. And first of all, he clears all the wide receiver talent there. So we know he can be the top dog. And I'm looking at a target share between 22 to 25%. I say that because you have other target earners there where I think that Trey McBride and Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson could end up putting something together. But that still doesn't take away the alpha presence that Marvin Harrison will bring. The ability to create after the catch, the ability to be so close to the line of scrimmage and have home run ability. This guy is a field stretcher, and the speed is incredible on a guy that his size. This dude is going to be a blazer going off the board in the back end of the first round, early second round that you do not want to miss on alpha opportunity. Another year of drafting Amari Cooper with a great value, man. We keep overlooking this guy, but he is one of those wide receivers that you can get in that back end third round, early fourth round as your possible wide receiver 3. This dude is looking at an elite target share, and if you're worried about Deshaun Watson and his poor QB play last year, which is a good concern, but my man was averaging 15 fantasy points per game with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. So with or without him, you have to look at Amari Cooper as a great value piece to your roster. It makes your wide receiver core look incredibly stronger. And I think Amari Cooper's getting overlooked just based on the team he plays for. And I don't think it's because of the addition of Jerry Jeudy or anything like that. I think Amari Cooper can be a solid piece on your roster as your wide receiver 2 or 3 with a alpha target share on the table. This dude finished as wide receiver 20, even with the struggles of Deshaun Watson and the other quarterback play. So you're looking at the high ceiling here that we're hoping that Deshaun Watson could take a step forward and alpha opportunities for Amari Cooper. Now, the Panthers wide receivers struggled last year finding separation and getting open for Bryce Young, so that stalled out a lot of the offense, and it just didn't give them a lot of scoring opportunities. Now you get somebody like Deontay Johnson, who's a crispy route runner, a guy that can find separation, find the soft spot in zone coverages. He is a one-of-the-kind guys that they're going to have on that offense that is going to be able to keep these drives alive, going downfield a lot more because this dude is a king separator. I'm telling you now, he's going to be a difference maker for this Panthers offense. Now we're looking at how is he a target earner. Since 2020, he has 31 games of 10 plus targets, and that's 5th among wide receivers in that time span. And this is among the elites of wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, and Justin Jefferson. I'm looking at Deontay Johnson, such a huge value later in those rounds where a high target share is definitely on the table for you, man. So you do not want to miss out on Deontay Johnson in 2024. Now, DK Metcalf, man, he is one of those wide receiver 2 productions that we kind of settle with in drafts, but this is a year for him to break out of his shell to actually hit you on the wide receiver 1 value. Now, we're looking at this new offensive coordinator coming in from the Washington Huskies, Ryan Grubb, and what installed in his system was basically quick shots, quick passes, deep shots, where I think this is where it's going to be DK Metcalf to get a lot of his fantasy points in chunks. Now, you're probably looking at the quarterback situation. It's fine. When you're looking at the quarterback position with Geno Smith of deep throws in the past 2 seasons, he's 3rd in completion percentage. So I'm looking at this as an opportunity for this offense to be a lot more vertical, to get DK Metcalf, one of the most biggest breakouts that I think we can see from DK Metcalf versus the previous seasons he's had, because this offense is going to be a lot of quick passes, and like I said, and a lot of deep shots. And I don't expect Ryan Grubb to come in to change anything of his philosophy, because when you look at Michael Penix last year in his last season with Washington, he led the entire FBS in passes of 20 plus yards. So we know that this is going to be one of the things that are going to be the main focus of the Seahawks offense. I think DK Metcalf becomes a huge benefactor here with Tyler Lockett on the decline, with a hopeful breakout for JSN. I think one thing that remains solid about DK, he is the alpha of this Seahawks offense. Now, last but certainly not least, Drake London is a guy that you need to be targeting in those early second rounds. Back into the first round, I'm not mad at either, but people are overlooking him or have an issue with his ADP just based on we have not seen wide receiver 1 production. I mean, we could say the same about Garrett Wilson, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But Drake London's a guy that suffered by poor QB play. Last season, he had the second fewest catchable targets, and we all know that Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke were not going to be the guys to elevate him to a wide receiver one. Now we're looking at the quarterback position this year where you have Kirk Cousins, and you also have Michael Penix as the backup just in case. But you look at those two, they are completely upgrades to what has happened in the past. Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, he is from the Sean McVay tree, so I have my faith. I have my priors as well with this offense, and I think this is going to be the year that we can see Drake London hit his full fantasy potential. And that wide receiver room, Rondell Moore, he's an Arizona Cardinal reject, didn't really work out there. Darnell Mooney was very quiet, a lot of high expectations out of him to Chicago, so there's not much wide receiver competition there. And when you look at Kirk Cousins, he's always had a history of elevating his wide receiver ones. The floor with him dating back to 2018 is 15 fantasy points per game, and I love that for Drake London for his breakout season with alpha potential on the table for him in 2024. So that wraps up another great episode of RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe. And hey, head to the website and sign up today. Get a subscription, get 10% off when you use my promo code FIRE. And you guys can follow me at Real Deal Fantasy on all social media platforms. Until next time.